Swing and a drive. You can forget about this one, folks. 3-run homer way up there.
Hello, people of the interwebs. This is our 4th video. And yeah, we are having a lot of fun. Thanks for everyone who supports and the views. And before we start, if you're not subscribed right now, click that subscription button. It's nice and free. Also, drop a like. It would be pretty cool.
We do like free things around here.
Yeah, we do like free things. We do like free things in 2020. So
Yes.
over the last couple weekends or weeks, Bleacher Report revealed their 2020 players list for MLB. It's got 100 players on it. Keep in mind, strictly the performance of 2020 they're talking about here. Nothing prior, nothing in the postseason, just the regular season 2020. Yeah, so we're gonna go through it, break it down, give our thoughts on it, and yeah, create some content.
Oh yeah, we love making content. If you guys aren't subscribed and following our Instagram page, make sure you do that. Probably the most underrated Instagram page on Instagram, so I would go check it out if I were you guys.
We say that every video, and it's still the most underrated.
I know, I can't believe it. We have maybe 400 views on the channel, and we haven't gained 400 followers. So what is this?
Yeah,
I don't get it. Okay, so here's Bleacher Report's top 100 players of 2020. Remember, it's 2020. No other season has any effect into this, so we're gonna get right into it.
People like David Price will not be on this list.
Yeah,
Ryan
or like
Zimmerman
Marcus
will
Stroman.
not be on this list, or Marcus Stroman.
So we're gonna start from just naming 100 to like 91, and then do like 90 to 81 in like a separate order. So in 100 we have Antonio Sensatella. 99 is Dansby Swanson. 98 is Brad Keller. 97 is Pablo Lopez. 96 is Liam Hendricks. 95 is Devin Williams. 94 is Luis Robert. 93 is Heimer Candelario. Number 92 is Willy Adames, and 91 is Cesar Hernandez.
Yeah, so with those 100, just looking at it, I would put out of that group of 10, right? That's 10 there or 9?
I think there's 10 of them. Yeah,
there's 10. Yeah. Just out of those 10, my closer to the top for me would have been Devin Williams, Liam Hendricks, and Dansby Swanson.
Oh yeah, Swanson had a really good year. I had him in fantasy, which is pretty good, but he did really well this year. He hit 274 with 10 home runs. That's better than a lot of people who are higher than him on this list. So I don't know why.
Mine's a 60-game season too, right?
Yeah.
And then guys at the top of that group of 10, there's Cesar Hernandez. I'm pretty sure he had he had big home run numbers. I'm pretty sure, but I think he only hit like 190 or 200.
I don't know why they put Swanson and Cesar Hernandez that I know why they put Cesar Hernandez that low. I don't know why they put Swanson that low. But what I don't agree with here is Devin Williams and Liam Hendricks in 95 and 96. I know those are the 2 highest relievers on the list because I looked them before, so I guess they don't rank relievers highly, which is fair. But I still would put them a lot higher than some of the starters that are going to be on this list.
And we were talking earlier about the relievers. We said that there should be 3 relievers on this list, in our opinion. Devin Williams, Liam Hendricks, and the fact that Nick Anderson isn't on the list, I think he had like a .6 whip, which is ridiculous.
Insane. The guy gave up one hit the entire season?
Yeah.
It's nuts.
That's ridiculous. That's something that's 100-player worthy.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're only in the 90s, I put some respect on the relievers. I would put them at least 70 or 80.
You're not going to win many games if your bullpen can't lock it down.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to move through this probably quicker because our last video was about an hour. I mean, people did enjoy it, so thanks. So in 90 we have Austin Nola, 89 David Fletcher, 88 Marco Gonzalez, 87 Sonny Gray, 86 Julio Urias, or Urias, whatever people like to call it, 85 Ian Happ, 84 Lourdes Gurriel Jr., 83 Jesse Winker, 82 Clint Fraser, and 81 Eloy Jimenez.
The fact that Sonny Gray is in the 80s is kind of mind-boggling to me. He had
Yeah,
a fantastic year with the Reds.
he was
I,
he was almost as
easily,
good as Trevor Bauer, and
yeah,
Trevor Bauer's I'm not going to
way,
spoil it, but he's really
way
high
up
up on the
there.
list.
Yeah. Sonny
I
Gray's
would
easily a top 50 player, I think.
yeah.
If you're basing it off 2020 stats, he pitched like a top 50 player.
Yeah, Jesse Winker, I think, should also be higher on this list. He had a
Yeah.
really good season. And also Lourdes Gurriel, like the man hit over 300. And I don't know if they're taking defense into accountability for this, but he was nominated for Gold Glove. So he did really well. He hit 308 with 11 home runs. He had an 880 on base percentage, and they're putting him 84th. I don't really agree with that. There's players higher on the list who did a lot worse.
I think the perfect rating on here right now, I think Austin Nola at 90 is perfect for him.
Yeah, I
Because he was
also
always
agree.
a mid-tier kind of player, and this year he really elevated his catching ability and hitting.
hmm
The other
I
thing is,
also
I think I'll just go one more, Chris, before you jump in. I
okay.
think Clint Frazier's a little too high for me.
I was gonna say I like where he's rated right there. Maybe
Yeah?
it could be I like in the 80s to 90s range. I kind of like that. I was gonna say
See,
that. And
I
also,
would have put Dansby Swanson ahead of him.
oh yeah, 100%.
That's where
Maybe
my
move
issue
him.
comes in.
Yeah, maybe put Clint right ahead of Nola, and then Dansby, and maybe
Yeah.
put Eloy around there because I think Eloy's kind of rated fairly. But
Yeah, no.
yeah.
You can maybe drop, I think, Marco Gonzalez down into the 90s range.
hmm
He had an okay year. Ian Happ, you can maybe drop down to the 90s, but I think he's kind of right in the 80s, right where he should be.
hmm Overall, it's not terrible. Like these ratings aren't horrible, but they're all right.
So far they're decent.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to move on into the 70s now. So in 80th, we have Chris Taylor. 79th, we have Kevin Biggio. Best player, by the way, is my favorite.
Blue Jays!
Woo! 78, we have Robinson Cano. 77, Alex Verdugo. 76, Jason Hayward. 75, Michael Brantley. 74, Justin Turner. 73, Jackie Bradley Jr. 72, Byron Buxton. And 71, Kyle Lewis. And first of all, Kyle Lewis should probably be around the same place as Luis Robert, and Robert was in 94th. That's all I really want to say, like right off the bat. I think Biggio and Verdugo had pretty much very kind of similar seasons, so I agree with where they should be. But maybe Justin Turner and Buxton could be higher, but I'm okay with this so far.
So I only have really one problem with this one so far, and it's just that two actually. I think Justin Hayward's a little too high. As some of the players we named before, I'm putting like where was he? I'm putting people like Dansby Swanson ahead of him. I don't think Hayward had that good of a year. Then again, I didn't see a lot of Hayward's games, so I'm just kind of going off what I know of him, but I don't think he had that great of a year. People like Jesse Winker, I would have put ahead of him.
Yeah.
But
probably.
overall, 76, you can make an art case for him, I guess, there. The other thing I would say is Robinson Cano at 78 is kind of disrespectful because, yeah, Robinson Cano's not great, but this year he played phenomenal. He looked like Robinson Cano of the Yankees.
Yeah, he hit 316 and had 10 home runs with 30 RBIs. That's pretty impressive. That's literally almost as good as he did in 2019 when that was a full season.
Yeah, plus I'm pretty sure he got nominated for all MLB team at second base, right?
Yeah.
Like that's easily, in my opinion, a top 50 player. Maybe top 50 is a little high. Maybe top 60, but
I can get behind that.
Yeah. Other than that, though, so far so good.
I agree. All right, now we move on to 70 to 61, and in 70th we have Xander Bogaerts. He got snubbed. I just want to put that right there. 69th, Miguel Rojas. 68th, Dylan Bundy. 67, Zach Davies. 66, Jake Cronenworth. 65, Kyle Tucker. 64, Brandon Nimmo. 63, Chris Bassett. 62, Carlos Carrasco. And 61, Gio Urshela.
Right here is where I think the list starts to kind of get away. If you're putting people like, I think Cronenworth, Lewis, and Robert should all be around the same range. So the fact that you have them spread out over 30 different rankings,
like 40 rankings.
Yeah. I think you could have put them all in the 80s, order them however you want, but I think they should all be there. Xander Bogaerts, you're right, he got snubbed. The
Why?
fact that he's
He had such a good
70th
year.
right now is ridiculous.
The guy hit 300. Like,
Yeah.
he had an 867 on base or OPS. Like, that's
Yeah.
I don't why.
Like, Gio Urshela is good, but I'm putting Bogarts ahead of him.
Oh yeah, I'm putting Bogarts ahead of him too. I
I'm
think
putting
Bogarts might even
Bogarts ahead
be
of Miguel Rojas,
top.
which is right above him.
Bogarts could potentially be top 50 this year. I
Yeah.
have to put that out there. He was really good.
I think he was hurt for a little bit, so that kind of may have affected it a little bit.
Yeah, but so was Urshela and pretty much the
Yeah,
entire Yankee team.
right?
So
So you can't. That can't even be a spot like an argument against it. The one problem I have is Kyle Tucker. I know he hit for power, but there's no way he was better than Justin Turner.
yeah, I agree
Having
with that.
Biggio, like he's a little high. Like if they flip Tucker and Cano's spots right now, I would be happy.
Yeah. The only thing I can say about Tucker is that he did have a higher batting average and he had 3 more home runs than Biggio, but Biggio had about I think was that 70 or 50 points more in on base percentage.
Yeah.
So
I knew Biggio's on base percentage was higher, but
yeah.
I think he should have been like right, maybe one above Biggio. Like I said, he could have really switched right with Robinson Cano, straight flip. I think that would have been fine.
Yeah, I could get behind that. I do agree with Carrasco and Bassett. They were both pretty good,
Yeah.
but
I maybe bumped Dylan Bundy above Zach Davis, but
yeah,
I'm nitpicking at that point.
I was about to say move Bundy up because he did have a pretty solid season.
He did fall off towards the end of the season, but
yeah,
for a majority of that season, he was lights out.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to the next group. We have 60th to 51. So in 60, we have Teoscar Hernandez, 59, Paul Goldschmidt, 58, Dom Smith, 57, Sean Murphy, 56, Travis d'Arnaud, 55, Salvador Perez, 54, Will Smith, 53, Max Scherzer, 52, Lance Lynn, and 51, Kyle Hendricks. This is kind of where we see a lot of the catchers in this list. Will Smith, Salvador Perez.
Yeah. The thing is, if these are the catchers on the list, the fact that Will Smith's ahead of Salvador Perez is kind of crazy to me.
Oh yeah.
Just because I'm gonna assume they take defense into account here.
For catchers, I assume so.
Yeah, right. It's a catcher. Perez is one of the best defensive catchers in the league. Plus, he hit for an amazing average this year.
Yeah, I have to say, Perez hit 333, had 11 home runs, 32 RBIs.
Yeah,
that's a solid season with a 986 OPS. That's really good.
That's unheard of as a catcher.
Yeah. Like, he could have been in the MVP votes this year, let alone he's 55th on the list. Yeah. So I don't agree with that.
The one thing I will give them credit is they grouped a bunch of the catchers together. This is what they should have done with the rookies, in my opinion. And I think you'll agree with it. They should have put Cronenworth, Robert, and Lewis kind of all in the span of like 5 different rankings.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he was a lot better than Travis d'Arnaud. I know d'Arnaud hit 321.
Yeah.
None of his stats were higher than Salvador Perez, so I kind of agree where they were, like in that Salvador Perez d'Arnaud order. I don't know if Will Smith was better than them. I don't think so.
I think I know he gets a lot of love being a Dodger, and he is a good player. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
I don't think he was better than them this year. Don Smith at 58, above Paul Goldschmidt. As crazy as it does seem, Goldschmidt did have kind of a shaky year. Dom Smith also hit phenomenal, so I give props to them for doing that.
Mm-hmm. I think Teoscar's a little low. He was insane.
Yeah.
He was also hurt too, and he still put up like almost leading home run numbers. He had 16 home runs in 50 games, and other players probably had 16 in like 60 games, so that's really impressive.
Yeah.
I'd probably move him up a little bit.
Only thing is, if they're counting defense into it,
he's a little shaky.
We know Teoscar's not the best. We love Teoscar. Talk to him all the time on Instagram. Love him, but we all know he's a little shaky defensively.
Yeah, I agree with everybody else on the list, like Scherzer, Lance Lynn, Hendricks. Yeah. Like maybe you can raise Lance Lynn a little bit because he was really good with his strikeout numbers.
I think those three, these are the best players we've seen so far. Those are interchangeable, I think, in my opinion. You
Yeah,
can put
I
whatever
would
one
put
ahead.
Scherzer ahead just of respect, but whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think so far that's pretty decent.
hmm
But like I said, you could easily saw Robinson Cano in here with the year he had. You could easily saw people like Xander Bogaerts in here.
Even Lourdes Gurriel, he had a really good season.
Yeah, you could have made Lourdes a case for there too.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to move on to 50th to 41. So in 50th, we have Framber Valdez. 49th, Zach Plesac. 48, Corbin Burns. 47, Cody Bellinger. 46, Nelson Cruz. 45, Luke Voigt. 44, Bryce Harper. 43, Kenta Maeda. 42, Herman Marquez. And 41, Brandon Belt.
So I'll start off here. The fact that Brandon Belt is only 41 is kind of insane to me because he had such a good year in San Francisco that no one's talking about him because there's such a bad team in San Francisco. But he got I'm pretty sure he was nominated for Gold Glove at first base for the NL. He was an All MLB nomination. Like,
Yep. He had an over 1,000 OPS.
Yeah.
Just want to put that out there. That's really good.
I think Harper at 44. Yeah, you could have maybe bumped him to the low 30s, but I think Harper at 44 is pretty decent for where he is right now.
Yeah, I'm a very biased Yankee fan. I hate the Yankees, and I think that Luke Voigt should be higher on this list. The guy led the league in homers, had a 277 batting average, 948 OPS. He deserves to be higher on this list. I would even have an argument of him being even top 20 this season, just based off of those home run numbers, but I'll take it. He's 45th, you know? I'm not going to complain.
I think as long as I would be okay with it, as long as he's behind Harper and Belt. Because in my opinion, Harper and Belt had a better year than Voigt.
Yeah. Cody Bellinger, maybe you lower him. He was not good at all this season. If this is just based off of this year. But then also, if you say that about Bellinger, you have to say that about Yelich, and I don't see him so far on this list. I don't know if he even made the list.
I would have put Bellinger ahead of Yelich, so I don't know where Yelich is right now. Because I only took a quick look through this, but
I don't think Yelich is on this list, so we might have to talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll talk about people who aren't on the list at the end here. But one thing I would say is that Corbin Burns, Zach Plesac, Framber Valdez, and then if you go back 3, we had Hendricks, Lynn, and Scherzer.
Yeah.
I would make a case that at least Lance Lynn was better than Framber Valdez, Zach Plesac, and Corbin Burns.
I agree with that.
Like,
I even think Herman Marquez. I think Marquez should probably be marked down a little bit with those guys.
Yeah, I don't think Marquez was that good either. But yeah, that's just a little, like I'm saying, I'm nitpicking at this point. You could have flipped around those 6, 7 spots pretty easily.
And also, I have to say, I'd probably put Nelson Cruz a little higher. The man hit 16 home runs with a 303 batting average, 992 OPS. Guy was nuts. He's 40, so
yeah, I would have bumped down Marquez and Maeda.
Maeda
down.
He was good though. He's nominated for a Cy Young, so
he is good. But we're at the point where I think some of these players were just better.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even think Maeda should have been nominated for a Cy Young. So there were better pitchers in the AL, if we have to put it that way.
I agree.
Okay. From 40th to 31. So in 40th, we have Lucas Giolito. 39, Zach Wheeler. 38, Zach Gallen. 37, Will Myers. 36, Trent Grisham. 35, Michael Conforto. 34, Mike Yastrzemski. 33, Aaron Nola. 32, Luis Castillo. And 31, Tim Anderson.
I'll say mine really quick, and then you could piggyback or whatever I'm gonna say. So far I think this 40 he has right here, this group, they belong pretty much where they are. The only thing I would do is flip Giolito, and put Giolito 38th, Gallen 39th, and Wheeler 40th. That's really it.
Yeah, I don't really know too much about Will Myers, so I'm gonna look him up.
I know he big power numbers. I don't know if he
I think
what his other stats were.
Yeah, he hit 15 home runs, 288. So yeah, I give it to him. But Nelson Cruz was better, and Nelson Cruz was lower on this list. I guess maybe they take defense into accountability because Cruz is DH. But
maybe
every stat Cruz was better in. So I don't know why he's a little lower on this list. I know Conforto was good too.
The only thing is, we mentioned it before. Brandon Belt. If you're putting Will Myers ahead of Brandon Belt this year, there's something wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
like
agree
you
with
said,
that.
Brandon Belt's OPS was what, above 1,000, you said, and Whit Myers is probably what, 800, 900 roughly.
Hmm.
So
Also, I have to say, Luis Castillo and Sonny Gray had very similar
yeah,
seasons. And where was Sonny Gray on this list? Was he in the 80s?
somewhere in
He
the
was
70s.
87th. He was 87th, and Castillo's 32nd. So I don't know
No way.
what they took into accountability here, but they were arguably pretty much the exact same. So
Yeah.
I don't
The
know.
fact that Zach Wheeler, yeah, he's a decent pitcher, but he did not have the Zach Wheeler type of season. We're used to much better from him.
Hmm.
Sonny Gray outperformed him by miles. The fact that they are 40 people different is ridiculous.
Yeah. All right, let's start off the top 30
Yeah,
here.
top 30, the big boys here.
Yeah, this is where some controversial ones are, if I have to say. In the 30th, we have Brandon Woodruff. 29, Hyunjin Ryu, absolute legend. 28th, we have Dallas Keuchel, who I actually really agree with. I'm surprised. 27th, Anthony Rendon. 26th, Brandon Lau. 25, JT Realmuto. 24, Max Fried. 22, Garrett Cole. Or 23, Garrett Cole. 22, Clayton Kershaw. And 21, George Springer. I don't know if I messed up that order.
No, I think you're good.
I'm good.
I think you got it. I think all these players do belong in the top 30.
Hmm.
I think Brandon Woodruff is a top 30 player, but I would have put Brandon Belt ahead of him.
Yeah, he was really good. Maybe
Right?
I would put Cruz in the top 30. I just have to put him there.
I mean, yeah. Unless we're counting defense, then I think
Yeah, then he can stay
probably
where he is.
top 40. Yeah. But yeah, that's it really. Belt, I would have put 30. I would have put Ryu ahead of Keuchel because
Mhm.
Ryu did get nominated for the Cy Young.
Yeah, I don't know how Garrett Cole didn't get nominated for the Cy Young. I mean, they put him. Bleacher Report put him 23 on this list.
Yeah. And then
and
again,
he
me saying
and
that, I would have put Ryu ahead of Cole there.
yeah, if we're going by
Right.
Cy Young nominations, then also Kenta Maeda would be higher than Garrett Cole
Yeah.
on here too.
No, exactly.
So-
I agree. So something's up. Either the Cy Young nominations are kind of iffy, or Bleacher Report's iffy.
Yeah, and when I look at this list, I see Brandon Lau in 26th. He was in the regular season much better than George Springer, JT Realmuto in terms of hitting. I know in the postseason he was horrible, like he could not hit a beach ball, but I think I would move Brandon Lau at least top 20.
Yeah, I would have put Brandon Lau 21 because I just took a look at the next two guys, like the next two paper
Yeah.
sheets coming up, and I don't think he could crack top 20 with the players they have in there.
Okay.
But yeah, 21 I think is perfect for him.
Yeah. Maybe Kershaw could be a little lower, but I think they might be taking postseason into consideration considering the other people on this list. So
Possibly.
I'd move him up just for that too as well. So yeah, take a look at the top 20.
I think Max Fried, JT Realmuto, Rendon, they're all kind of perfectly ranked there, 24, 25, 27.
Yeah, I agree. So in the top 20 now, in 20th we have Randy Arozarena, and this is what I was saying before with Lau and Arozarena. Like Arozarena played probably 10 games all season.
Yeah.
And then popped off in the postseason, so that's why I think they moved him up into 20th.
Just weird because the article says they only count the regular season.
Yeah, so I don't understand that. 19th they have Dinelson. I don't even know his name. Dinelson
I think
Lamet.
it's Dinelson Lamet.
I can't say his name. 18th we have Yu Darvish. 17th Trevor Story. 16th Trey Turner. 15th Mike Trout. 14th Marcell Ozuna. 13th Jose Abreu. 12th DJ LeMahieu. And 11th Manny Machado.
Do you want to start, or because I know you have some things to say about this?
Go right ahead. You can start. I'll let you go.
So we're going back. Sonny Gray at 80th, and you have Dennis Lamet at 19th.
Yeah.
I just want to say that's a big difference, and they're really similar pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my one nit thinking I'm picking. As for the players he has in there, I think maybe you could have put Trout a little higher, but then again, the players above him did play way better. So I think 15 is kind of fair for Trout.
Yeah, and I just want to say one thing. I just realized that Nolan Arenado is not on this list.
Yeah. We'll talk about it at the end.
I just wanted to put that in there. I was just looking through it. I'm like, what? Wait, he's not here?
Yeah, we'll talk about all the players not on this list because there's a couple I want to mention that had really good seasons.
Good seasons. Yeah. Okay. Um, I think this is actually pretty fairly rated. I would probably move DJ LeMahieu down a little bit. And maybe move Marcell Ozuna into the top 10 along with Machado, considering they were both, Machado was nominated for the MVP and so was DJ, but he really shouldn't have been. I think Ozuna should be higher than Machado. He had a much better season if we're just taking a look at the pure stats. Also, Yankee fans, sorry to do this to you guys, but Mike Trout should be ahead of DJ LeMahieu as well. I don't care what anybody says. DJ LeMahieu did not do better than Mike Trout this year. No,
You know what?
did
He
not.
hit for a better average. That's what he did.
Yeah, that's what he
Which,
did. But Mike
if
Trout
you're
is
counting
Mike
average
Trout.
that much, there's no way he played a better defense. If you're counting defense in this, there's no way DJ LeMahieu, maybe offensively hit better than Trout this year, but defensively, there's no way he plays better than Mike Trout.
Yeah, but then if
So-
we're also taking a look at batting average, Tim Anderson's 31st. So
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know why they ranked LeMahieu that high. I know he was good. He's definitely top 20.
Yeah.
He could be top 15,
I think he's top
10.
50 for sure, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I agree. He's definitely the
I
best player in the
think he was
Yankees.
better than Story. He was better than Turner.
Yeah, best
Um,
shortstop, or was he second baseman? Definitely
he's
the best
second
second
baseman.
baseman in the league
Yeah.
this year for sure.
Yeah, but I think if you're counting defense, you got to put at least him a little bit higher.
Mhm.
I would say probably 14 because you have Abreu who's a DH.
Yeah,
Right,
and then
put him at
Abreu,
15.
Nelson Cruz, similar years.
Right, that's another thing. Abreu and Nelson Cruz are completely different spots.
Hmm. I know Abreu did better, but 30 points around or 30 rankings different. So I don't know. It's kind of weird how they ranked
is
it.
Cruz like we said, if they're counting defense that bad,
Hmm.
then there's no way you're
then-
saying Cruz is that much worse of a defender than Abreu.
Yeah. But then also with defense, Ozuna is not the greatest defender, and he's up in 14th.
Yeah.
You know what?
Right,
Let's
I know.
move past this. Take a look at the top
Let's
10
go-
because
let's
we
go
could probably
top
talk
10
about
here.
this one for hours. And then also we're looking at defense. Machado should be number 1 or something. So
He is pretty good defensively.
he is very good defensively. Okay, so the top 10. This one actually has me a little bit angry. So in 10th we have Ronald Acuna Jr., 9th Juan Soto, 8th Jose Ramirez, 7th Corey Seager, 6th Jacob deGrom, 5 Shane Bieber, 4 Trevor Bauer, 3 Freddie Freeman, 2 Fernando Tatis, and 1 Mookie Betts. And I got to start off right here in saying, how is Trevor Bauer ahead of Shane Bieber? I
That's
don't
the
get
most
it.
obvious
Shane Bieber
thing.
won the Triple Crown for pitching. There was no better pitcher in the entire league. He led every single major pitching stat. And you put Trevor Bauer, as much as I love the guy, you put Trevor Bauer ahead of Shane Bieber, it makes absolutely no sense.
I think a side note on that, Shane Bieber got snubbed of an MVP nomination.
Oh, 100%. And
Let's
also,
just throw that out. He got snubbed. Yeah, Ramirez was good. Yeah, LeMahieu was good. Yeah, Abreu was good. But Bieber was way better. I'm sorry.
Bieber is my MVP. I think he should be number 1,
I'm pretty sure
maybe,
Bieber
or number 2 on this list.
Abreu out a bunch of times. So
Yeah. Fernando Tatis should not be number 2. He would have been number 2 if he kept his first half stats where he was hitting probably 330 or 340, but he fell off. What did he end the year with? He ended with a 277 batting average. He 937 OPS. Other players on this list that were probably 50 to 100 had almost equivalent stats, and you
Yeah.
put Tatis on second.
Yeah,
I don't
Tatis
know about
I
that.
think Tatis is a top 20 player
Mhm.
for sure. I would even say he's probably top 10, maybe.
Yes.
You can make a case because you could definitely put Machado in the top 10 with the way he played this year.
Oh yeah, I
And
think
you can-
Machado was nominated for MVP. Tatis wasn't. So
Yeah.
I would put Machado ahead of Fernando Tatis in this specific ranking. I would also put Freddie Freeman number 1, Bieber number
Yeah.
2, Betts number 3, if we're gonna put it that way.
I would disagree with you. I agree with you on Freeman 1. Betts would be my number 2, and then I'd go Bieber, Bauer, deGrom.
Yeah, I could agree with that as well. I don't know. Soto, if he played a full year, I think he would have been number 1 on this list, but he didn't
Yeah,
play a full
Soto
season.
was ridiculous for what he played. I
Yeah.
think him at 9 is kind of perfect,
Just considering
right?
how much he played, yeah. But if he played a full or not 162, a full 60, 100% he would have been on this list even
And you're
higher.
telling me Corey Seager is had a better season than Ramirez and Soto? Like, yeah, he had
Um,
a good season, but
yeah.
I don't think he was
I mean,
that
Corey
much better.
Seager, he had a better season than Tatis, and he's lower
Yeah,
than Tatis.
exactly. That's another thing I was going to mention is he's way better than Tatis.
Like, the home run numbers, not as high. He only missed it by 2, but his batting average, 30 points higher. OPS, I think it was about 40 points higher. So I would maybe put Tatis in number 2, or Seager in number 2 if we're switching the Tatis and Seager around.
Yeah. Here's the thing, like we talked about them grouping very similar players together. They grouped Bauer, Bieber, DeGrom together.
Yeah.
Even though it's in the wrong order, in my opinion, it should be Bieber, Bauer, DeGrom.
Oh, 100%.
But Robert, you're telling me Robert, Cronenworth, and Lewis are that much of a difference. You're telling me who was the other one we were talking about? Sonny Gray and Luis Castillo are that much of a difference.
And the catchers, too, we were.
And the catchers. Like, you got to keep it consistent when you're doing a list. Yeah, you're not going to please everyone, but I shouldn't be questioning you this much. Your top 5 should be like, I shouldn't have to say there's no way this guy's not in the top 5, you know?
Yeah, top 5 in my eyes: Freeman, Betts, Bieber, Bieber, Bauer, and I would put Soto in the top 5. I don't care. I'm putting him in there. He was fantastic.
I think you could, but yeah, like the top 5, you shouldn't argue the top 5. Even the top 3, maybe top 5 you can argue 5 and 6, but top 3 you shouldn't argue top 3. It should be for sure. Like,
yes,
the fact that we are having this discussion right now, saying that Bieber is not a top 3 player this year is ridiculous.
I agree. I know he wasn't nominated for MVP, but he got snubbed by the MLB right there.
For sure. Before we wrap this up, I just want to mention some honorable players that weren't on this list. Nolan Arenado, Francisco Lindor.
I forgot about him.
Lindor, the 2 trash can bangers, which they definitely shouldn't be on the list. I just want to mention they weren't on the list.
Which ones? There's 3. 3 of them didn't make the list. Springer, Bregman, and Altuve.
Bregman, Altuve, Correa. I think Bregman was a top 100 player, to be honest.
Oh, I think he was too.
Yeah, the fact he wasn't on there. Another one, Bo Bichette wasn't on there, and that may be my Blue Jay bias, but I think he was a top 100 player this year. I think he was better than Biggio this year. I know you're going to disagree.
Whoa, hang on. Hold the phone.
I know you're going to disagree, but I think he was better than Biggio.
In the times that he played, he was the better player. But
and I think we can both agree he was better than Gurriel Jr.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
Well, Gurriel, it's because probably he didn't play a full season. If Bichette played a full year, I 100% agree. He probably is top 50 on this list. But,
that's true.
I think there's one other person I was thinking of who didn't make this list. I don't remember. Oh, Matt Chapman.
Matt Chapman. Well, he did go out early in the season. I know that with Tommy.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah. But
I mean, he still hit
on that trend.
He still did well.
Like Anthony Rizzo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he did this year.
Baez didn't make this list.
There's a lot of guys like it's crazy to see what the 60 game season did, because it's just a regular 168 games, 162 games.
Yeah.
I don't know if Dom Smith's on this list.
Also,
Mark Rojas is on this list.
Yeah. I want to say though, a lot of former top 10 to 20 players, like Aaron Judge, did not make this list.
Yeah.
Stanton didn't make this list. All like Lindor, Arenado, Matt Chapman, Stanton, Judge, Yelich didn't make this list.
Yeah.
He had a very similar season to Bellinger, and Bellinger was 45th. A lot of these like former MVP candidates or MVPs did not make this list. And I think they have seasons that probably could make this list. If we're also talking about who's that guy on 91st, Cesar Hernandez, they had better seasons than that guy. So
Cesar had the power, but I don't think his average was that high. If you want to Google it really quick, I'm pretty sure he had like 215, maybe.
Oh, actually, he hit 283. We're kind of just ripping on this dude.
Did he really hit 283?
283. But he only he did not hit for power. He had 3 home runs. He 736 or 63 OPS. So it's all right.
More everything I said about him, but yeah, I think Cesar Hernandez should not be higher than
No.
like Lindor and Arenado. I
Yeah.
I think if I had to pick 3 players that we just mentioned to be on this list, that's not on this list, I'm going Bichette, Arenado, and Lindor.
Yeah, I agree with that. I love how they're all like middle or infielders
They're all middle.
on the
I'm
left
biased.
side.
I love my little shortstops, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, so that is our opinions on this ranking. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Also, follow our Instagram page, 450 Dead Center. Subscribe to this
If
YouTube channel.
also if yeah, let us know in the comments if we're just complete idiots.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments we're complete idiots.
I mean, I think we might just be complete idiots if
I think we could be complete idiots. But
Yeah,
who knows?
have to
We're just
say
2
it.
guys that like baseball, so
Yeah, exactly. We just talk about baseball, express our opinions in some ways, just some of them. Yeah. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, we'll see you later.